My plan is to show you a quick demo of the Microsoft Purview utility kit that I've been building. The whole inspiration for this utility kit is just business problems that I've seen over the years that I've intended to solve. For this demo, I'm just going to use a lakehouse table called sales_customers that I plan to document while we're on here. As you can see, there is no description, only the schema, no lineage whatsoever. So what I've built is a whole suite of curation possibilities with for Microsoft Purview. And what it does is essentially just first fetching all the assets that you have. I have this pre-selected just because I have played with it before, but we can always write sales customer and it will find it as well. This suite also includes data products. I haven't been able to make too many features of it as of yet, but it's something that is in progress. Just to show you some of the features, we can tag, and we can also remove tags. We can add owner and expert on the assets. We can use classifications that is defined by Fabric Data Agent. So this is only for Fabric assets as of now. Same goes for description and lineage. And I've also built a function so that you can sync your business glossary, so your enterprise business glossary, with the classic glossary. So what this allows you to do is so that you can always add your latest glossary terms to the classic glossary, so it becomes possible for you to label your assets. So just to briefly to show you, we have selected sales customer. I will just write customer just to show that it's customer data, and it showed that it worked. I've also added the function of finding orphaned asset, and the reason why we want to have this function is because we often see customers have the problem that if someone leaves the organization that is a owner or a steward or an expert in this case, that they don't know. Sometimes there is so many assets in the organization, you cannot keep control of who have left or not. So what this function allows you to do is essentially just to find those assets. So if I click find orphaned assets, we will actually find sales customer because it's actually using an inactive owner as the expert. So it's already pre-selected. So in this case, I will just select myself and I will just add myself as the owner. And that should actually work. Hopefully, we will see later when, when we are trying. And now we can see that the current contact on selected asset is myself. Just in terms of classifications, what I'm using here is Microsoft Foundry together with Fabric Data Agent. So as we have added classifications, and we have the sales customer above here. So now I will try to look for classifications for sales customer. It's going to take a while, but you can always do this manually. So what it does is that it uses the API to fetch all the possible classifications that Microsoft offers. You can see them below here. And for sales customer, it suggests that we use Microsoft personal name and Microsoft personal name for first name and last name. We click apply. That's for classifications. We will see the rest soon. For description and data lineage, it's mostly on workspace level and not specifically for a specific asset. So for description, it lists all of the tables, notebooks, and lakehouses. I know that I want to do this on a lakehouse table called sales customers, as mentioned before. So now we're generating a description. So both the classification function, data lineage function, and this description function is using Foundry and Fabric Data Agent together. The only drawback with generating descriptions is that it's very often quite generic and lacks a lot of context many times. So it's something to be wary of, but at least this can hopefully get you started. And let's see, it generates us a description. We will look more to this when I will update the asset so we can see what it had documented. So this was a quick one for data lineage, for description. And we'll do the same for data lineage. I hope we are going to find at least 7 mappings. In theory, there should be 6, but in my current testing, we have found 7. And this is also using Microsoft Foundry. All right, it found 5 this time around. Let's see. So we have actually the one that I was intending to use. So what we can do is we deselect all. We see here customer in Lakehouse Landing. Lakehouse Landing in this case is bronze to base, which is silver. We can see that it had found the mappings of customer ID, first name, last name, and what it is in source, in bronze, and then in target, as well as in ID. So if we click create lineage, it should create the lineage in Purview. And then if you're not happy with the suggested mappings, you can actually always edit it. And what this allows you to do is essentially to select, okay, I was not happy how year was matched. Okay, it should be date, for example. And then you can also approve and create lineage for that. And then just to show you as well, we can make a dry run of the business glossary sync. And it shows us here, it found in total 5 terms, 2 different governance domains. And if we click sync now, it should create everything for us. And we will check that in Purview shortly. So it created 5 terms. So let's go in and check that everything worked. So let's update the source now that we have, when we have done the automatic curation. So we can see we added the tag, that was the first. Here we have the description all formatted and everything works. Then we have in the schema, we can see the classifications that I added, as well as in the contacts I added myself. So it shows everything, and also on the lineage, we can see all the mappings. So currently what I'm testing is that we don't need to use an empty column to show what was not mapped. So it's still in my testing, but it works. The only thing, the caveat here is that if you create lineage by an API, the problem is that you also have to delete it or change it with an API, because we cannot go into manual mode and change it. So be aware that if you do this with an API, you also have to change it with an API. If we go quickly into classic types, we can see that we created 2 different glossaries, and these are representing a governance domain. And we can also find the terms that was found from the enterprise glossary. And you can find them here as well. And the reason why we want to sync is to allow you to tag assets with terms, because we don't have that feature yet for enterprise glossary. So hopefully this has been helpful for you to see. I hope you're going to like it when I'm releasing it. I hope to have it released next week. I'm gonna do some further testing, but of course everything can't be tested. If you have any test cases that you want me to check for, please reach out. Other than that, I would love if you have any input for features, what needs to be developed to be able to enable you doing curation in Microsoft Purview.